to the channel. Getting into the Stalingrad watches. I've got the 4 watches here from Stalingrad Watch Company out of Hong Kong. Thank you, Sam and Sally, for sending these along to me. So I've had the watches for probably going on 3 weeks now, and so I've had an opportunity to wear each watch and get a feel for them. So a little bit more detail for each one. So the first full review, Stalingrad Kursk. So this is the Kursk. It is their only bronze offering, and this one is in a forest green dial face. You can get it in a couple of other options for colors, and the model number SG0609-03. So this is their most premium offering in their lineup. They have 4 different watches in their lineup, and this particular model comes in 3 different colorways. It is their, again, most premium offering, and it is a bronze. So the cushion 8 cushion type of case. So really comfortable on wrist. Great branding all through. So Stalingrad on the buckle there of the strap. The strap has a very sort of vintage feel. The leather wears really nice, really comfortable. Nice stitching there. Double keeper, so one stationary keeper and one slider. On the back side of those straps, again, the stitching looks quite good, and they are quick release. So I'll show you the quick release. I think I showed it in my first impressions, but there you go. Always a dangerous thing to do on video because you may never get it back together. Oh, there we go. Lucky. And you can see the stitching across the back there. Exhibition caseback. That is a stainless steel antique plated caseback. So that won't turn your wrist green. I've still got the sticker there on the glass, trying to keep the watch in good shape for the next group of reviewers. Screw down case back, and you can see here, let's see, Japan automatic, sapphire crystal, water resistant to 200 meters, and bronze. And there you go. It's a Miyota 8 series, ticking away inside there, beating, and the rotor with the branding on it. Stalingrad, I've mentioned in a previous video, does a great job with their branding right across. Vintage hand-stitched, genuine leather, so it does have sort of that vintage look to it. Nice thick strap. For those of you who want to know, let me just take it off camera for a second and measure it. So it's about, yeah, that's almost 3 millimeters. Almost 4. So at its thickest here, it's 3 to 4 millimeters right here, and down to about 3 millimeters at the end there. So I wore it, and I did get it. So apologies to the rest of the reviewers and the team at Stalingrad. I did wear the watch, was thoroughly enjoying it, and I believe that was from hand washing, due to all the hand washing and keeping safe right now. So case dimensions. We've got a 45 millimeter case diameter. We've got a 24 millimeter lug width right here. The case thickness is 14 millimeters when I measure it. Might push 15. I didn't have a good tool for measuring today. And it is 50 millimeters lug tip to lug tip. Wears quite comfortable on wrist. And look at those markers. So Cali dial. So the Roman numerals across the top half of the dial and the Arabics across the bottom half. Those indices are raised. I'm going to try to zoom in on those. Here you go. Those indices are raised, applied in some manner, and there's a bit of a I don't think I did a good job last time of getting the texture. Pictures of the texture of that dial. So let's see if I can sort of shade. I'm outside. There you go. You can see the texture across that dial. It looks really good. Stalingrad appears to be applied at the 12. Sorry, there we go. Stalingrad applied at the 12. Bronze 200 meters at the 6. So screw down crown. There we go. So you can see that it is a hacking and hand winding movement, the Mora 8 series that's inside this watch. The hands are really cool, really like sort of this oval biscuit look. I don't know what else to call it. Somebody can correct me in the comments section below. There we go, a little bit better. And then that seconds hand, that sort of diamond tip to it, and the red coloring just looks really nice. You can see the clouds. There is some air coating out here in that sunlight. It's a bit of a challenge. It is a 120 click unidirectional bezel. Unfortunately, it's not much for you to use in the form of function. So it's there's no minute markers. You'd have a tough time. There's no numbering inside those, I guess, faux rivets, the indicators that are applied there. The bezel action is very good. There's no backplay in the bezel, so it's a good looking watch. I definitely enjoyed wearing it, but I would tell you that it is a bit of a pet peeve of mine to see it. A bit of a con for me that it's not numbered. Sure, I'm probably not going to wear it diving, but I certainly would have appreciated some numbering in those markers. So let's see the time here. Reset it again too. So it's about 7:15. Here we go. Actually, before I do that, let's zoom in on the date complication. So on that dial, the date complication is there at the 3 position. It just happens to be June 3rd. It is at the 3, and it is framed with another piece of bronze or brass, sort of polished, shiny. And it's fairly legible. It's fairly small, but it is legible. Lettering works well, and they're not a great job on the centering, maybe. No, that looks pretty good. The some people might see that date window as a bit of a con because it's so tiny and not legible, and then others might see it as a positive because it doesn't take away much of the real estate of that really cool textured dial, which I'm capturing. I'm getting pretty good capture on it here now. Yeah, there you go. All right, pretty cool. Oh, let's back out a little bit more. So I've got the crown pulled out here now. I'm going to set the time back to 7:15, and let's take a look in on the crown. So the crown, any wiggle to the crown? No, the crown's very solid. There's no wiggly going on with that crown. It's nice and solid. You can see the threaded tube coming out the side of the case there. And it's a signed crown. There you go. So let's set that crown back in place. Good action. It picks up the threads really well. So I've got some notes here in the background to make sure I capture everything. The loom on it, it's got awesome loom. It's a Swiss Super Luminova, and it's applied really heavily, and those indices are so large, and it just seems extra bright because of it. And yeah, that's pretty much all of the specs and sort of look at the watch. I really enjoyed wearing it. Again, pros, I haven't had a brass watch. Sorry, brass, not brass, bronze. Haven't had a brass or bronze watch into the channel. I'd love to be able to have one of these long term and see the patina. I must say it's there's a lot of want when I'm looking at them online. I see those lovely Instagram pictures of patinaed watches. It just looks so cool, and I think there's a lot of fun with it. It's not for everyone, but the bronze right now looks really nice, and still keeps a nice shine to it. But yeah, long term, I'm curious what that'll look like. But that won't happen for me. These watches are going to be moving on to the next reviewer, Bob over at Time to Go Travel and Timepieces. So overall, the Kursk, Stalingrad Kursk watch, great offering. This one runs $600 US. Right now, we do have a coupon code, MADROCK. So if you use the code MADROCK when you're purchasing at the checkout there, you'll get 20% off with Stalingrad. So 20% off, that's not too horrible. And just a heads up, I don't receive anything for that. That is for you and to help Stalingrad, hopefully pick up a few sales. So great watch all around. Couple of cons. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the fact that the bezel doesn't have a marker, so it seems sort of redundant to have the rotating bezel. It doesn't serve a function of being able to time anything. And otherwise, I'm a big fan of the watch. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, yeah, Stalingrad Kursk. All right, guys. Thanks.